England are through to the last 8. Is it last 8? Last 8 of the Euros. A big win over Germany. 2-0 in the end. This man over here, let me go find you someone that's absolutely out of this world happy. Is this guy here. Absolutely
unbelievable,
positive, How you feeling, Rory?
Mate, overjoyed. That just couldn't have gone. I mean, it couldn't have gone any better. I thoroughly enjoyed our sparring on there as well. I think that you're right. The truth is somewhere in the middle. I was giving, if you weren't watching the kickoff, I was giving loads of credit to Gareth Southgate, and Adam was lurking somewhere on the more fortunate side for Southgate. So it'd be interesting to hear what you think about that. But overall, I think. Do you know what Boothby said on the show? He said it's one of the most significant, or the most significant result for England in recent history. I wasn't at the time, but when you think about it now,
he's convinced. Yeah.
No, but there's something in it, isn't there? When England have just eliminated Germany from a knockout tournament to progress into the quarterfinals, that is very noteworthy.
See, someone said post 66, he thinks it's the most significant.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I don't say it is because remember that feeling we had once we beat penalties on Colombia on penalties? Yeah. It was like, this is the moment where now everything, like, and I sometimes think we can get caught up in the moment, the prisoners of the moment. I do that all the time. With England, I'm a little more, like, I want them to do well, but I can kind of see where they're going wrong. And I just feel like maybe it's papering over the cracks a little bit. I agree. I think Southgate got it right. He deserves credit for the way we set up at the back. I maybe would have put different personnel in it. That's fine. That's cool. He gets the result. He deserves credit for that. But I do think against the Swedens, Ukraines, Denmarks, those are the teams that actually I'm more worried about us facing. Because against Germany, against France, against Portugal, England can get away with setting up like that.
No, but
I don't think we can get away with setting up like that against Sweden and Ukraine.
Why is it essential that when we play what is perceived to be weaker opposition, when we play weaker opposition, it isn't essential that we attack them? I don't mind if our game in Rome against Sweden or the Ukraine is a really dull affair, nothing happens for 70 minutes, England nick a corner on the 81st minute and get a winner. We don't have to attack. Our objective, and I know you agree with this, our objective is not to entertain. I agree, it will be if we go like that, it will be boring, it will be uninspiring, but it might be effective. And in this tournament, that's all I care about.
See, I think you got to get the best out of your best players, man. And I don't think we are at the moment.
I disagree. I don't think that's our responsibility. Our responsibility is to put a winner's medal around the necks of our best players.
But I think by getting the best out of them, you will do that. I think getting Harry Kane a goal today was massively important because I think you'll see a different player now. There's no doubt that it plays on his mind. Strikers like to say, it doesn't affect my game, it doesn't affect me. It does. We know it does. And to see him get that goal, you saw the relief in his face. Yeah. A big goal as well.
Well, the thing is, Ad, as well, the goal was essential because had that goal not come, there would have been a genuine discussion. Like the Calvert-Lewin conversation had started to come up anyway, right? Yeah. People were beginning to go, Calvert-Lewin's come out and got the hump as well. So there are many reasons why that goal is significant. It's significant for Kane, but it also stops the conversation in its tracks, the one that you were on about, do we need to be playing Harry Kane? Harry Kane doesn't score today, that's 4 games in, no goals, not especially good performances. Suddenly that conversation is put to bed, which is brilliant.
See, I wouldn't have been saying drop Harry Kane.
No.
Personally. No, because I feel like, do you know what Terry Venables done with Shearer in 96? You've got to do that with your main men. You know when you need them as well, and you're going to need him, you have to put your faith in him and say, you're my striker for this. I understand. I think you have to have an option to be able to take him off and all that.
Once both ways.
Calvert-Lewin not being on the bench is a worry, but
yeah. Look, I do see that. I do see that as well. But whether I probably wouldn't think that you drop him either because he's obviously eons above Kane. But people would, and it's a conversation that you don't need. And what's happened is with that goal, firstly, it's relieved the pressure from Kane, but crucially, it's killed that conversation. That conversation now doesn't happen. So I think now this is huge. It's so significant, an incredible victory, and England now go to Rome. I mean, this is mega.
It's the only game as well, if we get to the final, that will play outside of England, which is a huge boost, especially when you see 40-odd thousand in there. How good was that, by the way? To see, like, you know, when hashtag scenes, like to see scenes, limbs, like limbs, like
but
it was
fans,
so
the
good.
Fans were going, like, even on the scale of like celebrations, that was wicked. What was like it was pandemonium in there. It was wild.
Because you rarely get them moments as well in your home
Wembley's
stadium.
not good for it. Wembley. I mean, look, you boys, and I imagine the vast majority of people watching this are Manchester United fans. You've been to Wembley enough. For me, there's something wrong with it. It's a very sterile ground. It isn't easy to celebrate. It doesn't work as a stadium for me. I mean, I remember going to Cardiff to watch England play there. To watch Chelsea play there, and the celebration was so much better. However, that looked fantastic. It was pandemonium. It was the adrenaline going through everybody's faces as we were celebrating. It was a joy to behold, and you can't overstate this. Whatever the road to get to where we've got to, right? You and I have disagreed on the path, but the facts are England have knocked Germany out. We haven't conceded a goal in this tournament.
We've never seen that before.
We've never seen that before. We haven't conceded a goal in a tournament. We're now going to play what is at least perceived to be easier opposition until the final. This is actually a historic moment. This is a landmark moment in English football terms. And I just can't wait. Like Saturday, 8 o'clock. I mean, do you care who we play? Does it matter?
Either of them, I think England will beat. I think you don't. If you were going to pick, I think you pick Ukraine. All due respect. I think Sweden are a bit better. You got Alexander Isak. You got a couple of good defenders in there at the back. So I do think Sweden will be the more difficult team. But we've seen England play Sweden before. I can remember Rio scoring against Sweden. 3-0 win.
Well,
I can remember the last tournament.
So we played them in, if I'm remembering rightly as well. We drew. It's just mad what you remember, right? Danny Mills played right back for England because Gary Neville got injured in 2002, I think. And we played Sweden.
That Joe Cole's goal?
That was another time we played him in Germany. But we played him in 2002 and we were 1-0 up and then Danny Mills balls it up and we ended up conceding. It finished 1-1. The first game was under Sven in 2002. So we have a history with Sweden. It's generally been fairly favourable to us, aside from, do you remember Zlatan scoring that basketball?
Oh, it was a friendly goal,
yeah.
That's one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Yeah, Joe Hart was in goal, wasn't he?
Yeah, but then by the same token, Joe Cole's goal against Sweden is one of the best.
Yeah.
It's probably the best England goal I've seen.
I think that was in Frankfurt.
In a tournament.
Yeah, it was a brilliant goal.
I always like when England wear red shirts as well.
Yeah.
Not just because I'm a United fan, but I like the red of their shirts.
It reminds you of 66.
Beckham, 66 Beckham, Colombia is my personal favourite. A lot of people are saying I've been being negative. You know what? Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I think it's just because I'm long in the tooth. I've had my heart broken so many times.
Do you know what it is as well, Adam?
Partly
for you, from your perspective, you have the misfortune of sitting next to me, who, you know, that England fan that drives everyone mad, who is coming home, listens to nothing but New Order, swanning about in a bucket hat with the 3 lines on the front. You're sitting next to me, so it's going to make you go, no, Rory, it's not all as rosy as this. So it provokes you to kind of go the other way. It's just a natural kind of sparring way.
Yeah, I think my head did go at one point because you and Boovy just being, just whatever Southgate says, it's fine, isn't it? And it's like, it's not always the case. Me and him agreed a lot today, though.
Tactically adaptable, what, sorry?
I find it weird that me and him agree.
Wow, you've very close. You're very nice.
Very close, yeah.
You two were peas in a pod today.
We have been for the last few weeks,
I wasn't trying to be negative. I was just trying to say, like, I just said this earlier outside. I think my main point is the football isn't positive. It's negative and it's effective, but it yields a positive result, and that's the negative. But they love it when McKola's negative.
Really?
It's meant to be. No,
yeah.
But the point is,
no, but you're not. Neither of you are especially negative. You're just viewing it in a slightly different way. It's not a negative.
To be honest, I think you've gotten down the positivity. So sometimes I think, well, there's no point in me sitting there and going, "Too right, Rory." Like you've got to go. Okay, so what's the other perspective?
Although I would like the applause.
No, okay, I'll clap next time. But the other perspective is surely, okay, we can play better than this. This is a start, I guess. Then you just go from there. But the point, it yields a positive result. The problem being, there are times where it does sound as if you're connecting dots backwards, and therefore sort of giving them credit for stuff that you can see afterwards. Sometimes, as if in the moment he's gone, Grealish will come on and we'll do this. But that's just how it sounds. I'm not saying you.
No, I think that's true. I think the credit that I am being overly positive, and I do get it. But I kind of think that even if I don't want to do that, even if I want to be as bipartisan as possible, I can't help but just go, England are about to win a tournament even when we're not. I've done this every tournament since I've been alive. But even, I can't help but going, we're actually going to do it this time. This time more than any other time. And therefore, when I see it working, or not working, I've convinced myself it is.
Yeah.
Because I want it. You know, sometimes you see things that you want to see, don't you? You ever been at United? Someone's had a shot and it's gone off for a throw in, and you're at the other end. You go, oh,
yeah, because it looks like they've swerved away.
Because you're seeing it. You're seeing it.
Are you saying that's what our entire tournament is?
I'm saying that it might be my entire tournament. Oh, yeah, it might be my tournament. But no, it's brilliant. It's superb.
It is. Where do you failure to get to the final? Would that? Sorry.
Is it failure?
Is it failure to not get to the final?
Yes, it is, because I think expectations change throughout. If you'd said to me before the tournament, England get another semi-final, 2 semi-finals in a row in tournament football, I would say that's success. But I think that we have to amend that, and you change it as you move. And now, from this position, the expectation today, I think the expectation is to win it now. I think the expectation is to win. No Portugal, no France, no Netherlands.
No Croatia.
No Croatia.
You're not
time to win it. It is
Belgium or Italy will go out in the next round.
Yes.
I would rather Italy went out.
I would rather Italy went out.
Because I think Belgium and England are very similar.
Yeah, I'd rather.
In that they've got this golden generation, if you will, that hasn't quite done it.
Yes.
And the pressures would be very similar.
Yeah, and Mancini is a better manager than Roberto Martinez.
Yeah.
So you want Mancini to be out because you don't want to face him. I agree. I think Italy are the team to avoid, so hopefully we don't play them. But I'm not going to go down that road. I'm not going to be scared of anyone. I think this is just a massive day for England. We should be getting to the final. I think we should be winning it, because the other thing to bear in mind, Dad, after Rome on Saturday, we're at Wembley. We've seen the significance of Wembley today. We've seen the scenes in that ground.
It brings two things, though. If we get through the next round, it's then we have to get to the final, and then being in front of your own fans brings a different expectation. We're going to wrap this up now because Rory's got to do his own video. We got a super chat which says, "Wow, international football the most difficult to analyse. Pre-game, Pickford, Shaw, Maguire, Sterling all showed up. United showing in defence."
That's a reference to your analytical commentary. He's saying that, God, international football's difficult. You've made a pig's ear of this.
Which I have. Go subscribe to his channel. He's recording his video right now. Go check out the highlights on the kickoff. True Geordie's Twitch. Thank you to Laz for joining us too. Make sure you're keeping it locked. England are through to the next round. They'll play Sweden or Ukraine, which we'll find out this evening. It's coming home, innit? Maybe. Come on, England.